Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about stress. Yes, it's something that we all face and it's something that we all need to deal with. It messes up our hair growth, it messes up our growth as individuals, and it just messes up everything about our lives. So how do we let go of stress? How can we actually positively let go of stress in our life, and what helps us to let go of that? That's what I'm going to share with you today, so stay tuned. Okay, so what is stress? So I'm going to go by this definition that I've got here. Just typed it in on the internet. So stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. So something happens and you are mentally or emotional strained, you're under tension, pressure, right? But the kind of stress we're talking about and that I'm going to be discussing is the stress whereby it's long term, where something has happened to you and you are under a lot of emotional and mental strain. And some examples of that could be a bad breakup, family neglecting you, abuse, or something like that. The list goes on, where it's just perplexing your mind constantly or for a long period of time after the actual situation has happened. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, and a way that I found that helps me to deal with that kind of stress. Now, stress is known to contribute to so many diseases like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, such like. It makes you feel so down and depressed where you start performing negative actions. So for example, have you ever felt like you're just so stressed about something, you're upset about a situation, you've got a lot of emotional strain, and you just want to stay in bed all day, or you want to engage in a negative behavior like eat ice cream all day or foods that are bad for you? That's what stress does. When you're stressed out, you start to display negative behaviors that are not good for your body internally and are not good for your hair. So with that, I remember a situation where what I was going through, and one thing I noticed when I was under a lot of stress is that, of course, I didn't take care of my hair. That's not the thing on my mind. There's bigger issues. I'm stressed out about bigger issues. Why am I going to think of my hair? So hair care went downhill. Now, obviously, that's going to contribute to hair loss as well, but in an indirect way. But also in a very direct way, I started to my hair literally started to come out, and I was thinking, why is it shedding so much? And I was trying to do so many different treatments, that some of them which helped, for example onion juice, which you would see on our channel, the onion juice for hair loss, that really helped me to regain thickness in my hair. But that wasn't the solution, because you could only do so much, and when you're not dealing with the cause, it would always be there. So I had to deal with the stress, and so I was praying and asking the Lord, how do I deal with this stress, with this burden on my mind, on my head? Even when I try not to think about it, I think about it, I get reminded of it, so many things. And I'm sure if you've gone through a stressful situation, you can relate. So what did I do? I'm going to share that with you. I want you to imagine, now this is an illustration, I want you to imagine that your friend, your sister, your brother was holding this hammer, and this is your mirror, right? And they came home one day and they took the hammer and they just smashed your mirror and it broke into pieces. Now, who would you blame? Who would you blame in that situation? Okay, so assuming I can hear you, you'd blame your sister or your friend or whoever done it, because they had the power to break it. So since we're in agreement with that, sometimes in our life, now remember the illustration, we blame the hammer. Now, how do we do that, you're asking? Well, there's nothing that happens to me or you without God knowing about it. There's nothing that happens to us without it going through his command, God's command. There's nothing that can happen to me that he doesn't allow to happen to me. And he can choose to intervene, or he can choose not to intervene. And so if I am broken or torn apart or hurt badly by a friend or family or anything like that, then it's not really the family member, because they are tools. They are just tools. in God's hand. Now, many of you are like, no, God doesn't send them to do evil. And you're right. He doesn't send anyone to do evil. That's man's choice to either be on God's side or Satan's side. But can he stop the evil from happening to you? Of course he can. Did he stop the evil from happening to you? No, he didn't, if it happens, right? So he allowed it to be so. So what's the bigger purpose should be the question. So these people, or anything that happens to you, a stressful situation, or a person that has stressed you or caused pain or emotional strain, we have to see that they are just tools in the Father's hand. Now I'm going to use the Bible to illustrate this. Remember Christ when he was going to die, and he said, the cup which my Father has given me to drink, shall I not drink it? And he was talking about his death, the death that he was going to die. The Jews killed Christ. His people killed him, right? But he says that this bitter cup, which is his death, this bitter experience that he's about to drink, is coming from his Father. Why did he say it's his Father? Because he recognizes that there's nothing that can happen to him without his Father say so. They can't kill him if God does not allow it. If God said no, he's not going to die, who could kill him? When God says no, no is no. And so no one could kill him. But it's because God allowed it to happen. So he recognized that these people were tools in the Father's hand. And this is what happens to us. We have to have that same sight when bitter things are happening to us, when we're going through bitter experiences, stressful situations. We have to see that it's a cup in the Father's hand, and that sometimes there's a lesson that he wants us to learn. And that's what we should seek, to learn the lesson. We shouldn't focus on the tool, arguing with the tool, arguing with our friends and family, holding malice, anger, hatred because of the tool. No, that's misguided. There's no need for that. Because at the end of it all, this is all part of a bigger plan. As the Bible says, all things work out for good to them that love the Lord. So it's all part of a bigger plan. So why stress over it? Why worry about it? Why get angry or irritated or agitated over it and causing your body to be in that negative environment when it's all part of a bigger plan? We should seek to see the bigger picture, which is God is in control. And he's always in control. And so if he's allowed this to happen, then he knows that I can bear it, that it's not too much for me, and he will give me the strength to bear it. And so there's no need for me to stay in distress for it to negatively affect me. I hope that helps you. That understanding will help you to deal with some, if not all, of the stresses in your life. Recognize that sometimes those bitter cups, those bitter experiences, those stressful situations that we're given, that come our way, sometimes they're for our learning, they're for us to develop the character that God is looking for, and they're for our good. And when we start to see situations like that, then we don't stress over them. Instead, we might be joyful that they come to us so that we can learn the character that we need to fit us for heaven. So I hope that helps you with any of your stressful situations. If there's any other things that you do to help yourself in stressful situations, then please let us know in the comment box below. What things do you do? What has helped you in a stressful situation? And if this does help you, then please do share it with others so that they can be blessed as well. Thank you for joining us once again, and I hope and pray to see you in our next video. Obviously I won't see you, but I hope that you join us for our next video. Okay, take care. Bye bye.